Hi there everyone, welcome back to K9 Arcade. Got an interesting video for you guys today. We're going to talk about arcade do's and arcade don'ts. Yeah, that's right, I'm tackling this topic today. So when you go to the arcade, there's definitely things that you should do and things that you shouldn't do. For starters, we're going to go through the don'ts, because obviously there's a lot of bad things that people sometimes do in the arcade which they definitely shouldn't do. Yeah, let us begin. First things first, please don't be a donk. I'm gonna use that word, just donk, you know.
In your face, you donkey!
You know, you just nobody likes a jerk. Next one, keep your hands clean. I can't believe that I have to put this on the list, but honestly, even with the pandemic and that kind of stuff, which is reminding people to do basic things like keeping clean, you don't want to touch something that somebody has smeared their snotty hands on, or in the case, eaten some slimy fast food. You know, you go to touch the Time Crisis and it's covered in Cheeto dust, or the slimy hamburger that they ate. No, you don't want that. You don't want to go sit down at the initial D machine to find that somebody's maybe spilt something really yuck on there. Nobody wants that, you know? Wipe your hands down. Not hard to wash them. Sanitize, you know? That kind of stuff. The next one ties into it, which is keep your food and drink in a safe place. I mean, this should be common sense for people, but sometimes, you know, you'll get somebody, you know, who just comes in and, you know, maybe wants to bring in their really stinky food, puts it on the machine next to them, or maybe they've got an open drink, an open can or something. I understand, you know, you wanna do some time attack, you wanna have your Coke or your energy drink. I understand. The problem is that those types of drinks can very easily be spilt and land on the machine, and therefore make it very sticky for you, very sticky for the operator, very sticky for anybody who comes to play later, and very sticky for that machine that you're going to be complaining about later that doesn't work. Nobody wants that. So where possible, just you know, pour it into a water bottle, have a closed bottle. I know some machines have like a nice little flat base or a dash or something, and as tempting as it may be to chuck open drinks and food on that, don't do that. Oh, next one. Aside from all the other things that could ruin somebody's day, you know, they've had a long day at work, or maybe just been busy and they want to come down to the arcade and chill out, the last thing you want is any of the things I've already mentioned to kind of spoil your evening. But another one that can be annoying is credit spamming. Now, this can sometimes be harmless, you know, the arcade's quiet, you've got some time attack to do on your Wangan midnight, stuff like that. You know, you've got the whole place to yourself. I understand. Although, when it starts to get a little bit crowded and you've got people waiting behind you, you know, they want to do versus, and suddenly you start to look like a little bit of a jerk, you know? Again, you could sit there and keep time attacking, and maybe nobody would say it'd be the wiser. That's fine. But you don't want to spam so many credits to the point where you've been playing the whole time and nobody else has had a go, and then the place has to close and they're trying to kick you off. That one can be a little bit up and down. Maybe people will want to argue in the comments about that, but I'm just saying that, you know, try to be reasonable. If there's somebody behind you and they've been waiting ages, just be like, yo, did you want to play? Okay, I'll hop off for a bit. The next one is a little bit specific. Maybe not related to every machine, but I will still say this. On any game, don't slam. I know I did the hand thing just then, just don't slam. Okay? This is probably pretty common in the Maximum Tune community, with some players that think it, you know, adds like 500 horsepower and plus 20 kilometers or something like that. It doesn't. Don't do it. Don't slam. Okay? We understand that sometimes a little bit of a gear slam is going to happen in the heat of the moment because you don't know your strength and whatnot. A little bit of click clacking, it happens. But when you are repeatedly slamming the shifter, the wheel, the buttons, We know that you're only doing that because you're trying to make yourself loud enough and noticeable in the arcade, a form of peacocking, if you will. Don't do it. You wreck the machine, and then whoever has to hop on later has to be like, operator, my third gear doesn't work. That's the best example I have, but don't do this to any other game. You know, there's definitely other games that you can accidentally bash in too much. Some games are definitely built for bashing, you know, like the mallet games. Some games, you know, not so much. Again, just be mindful. And the last one, to not do. Do not do this. Do not abuse people. Do not abuse the players. Do not abuse the staff. You don't want to do this in any retail setting. You don't want to go and abuse somebody. That's just not nice. If you need help, ask for help. If they can't help you, don't yell at them. They're just there doing their job. Not everybody gets their job and is an arcade enthusiast. That's just how the world is. You don't want to abuse other players too. At the end of the day,
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
be nice to them, they be nice to you. If they're not nice to you, do not start a punch on. Nobody wants that. You know, if they're not being nice to you, just walk away. Go find something else to play. They'll eventually leave. They'll get unamused. You have the machine to yourself. Now we're moving on to the do's. Now these probably should be common sense, but then again, sometimes people don't have any. So we're going to go through the things that you could do to make it a better day for yourself and for others there. Firstly, abide by the rules. I mean, you go in there, people are going to have certain rules in place. Whether they be related to current pandemic restrictions, please follow them. Whether they be related specifically to that venue, like maybe they don't want hot food in the store, which is totally understandable, because if you walked into a place like that, or a library, the last thing you want to be smelling is, you know, somebody's, like, curry going mouldy in their bag, for example. People have rules for a reason, or maybe they have carpet, they don't want the carpet ruined. So if it says don't bring a certain thing in, maybe don't bring it in. If it tells you, please wear this or do this, again, abide by it. If you don't like it, don't go there. You know, there's always other places. Just try to abide by the rules, try to be nice. The next one is definitely one that we can cover for the places that are very crowded. Try to be nice, like wait your turn. If you go to a machine that's very busy and you want to play, there's multiple ways to go about it. One, you could go for a walk, come back later. There's always later if you have the time. Number two, you can patiently wait for a bit and then, you know, politely ask somebody if you can play. You know, you see that the match is finished, you lean over, you say, hey, may I please hop on? I want a game. In some arcades, you might be working over a coin or a token-based system, and they'll maybe place the coins at a certain spot, and that's a good indicator to know if they're going to be playing for a very long time. With the introduction of digital credits in some venues, it's a little bit harder to tell that, so socially awkward or not, it's just polite to ask. Okay, the next one on the list, the third do, is just be a good sport. If you're playing a game that has you versing people, just be a good sport, you know. It's fun to banter with your friends, and you know, maybe to be a little crass with your talking. But if you're playing with someone who is a stranger or somebody you don't know very well, please understand that maybe they won't understand your form of humour and whatnot, and they may take it badly. Fourth one is treat the machines the way you want to be treated. I guess we kind of mentioned don't slam. This is just more of an extension to every game in the arcade. Treat it the way you would like to be treated. You would not like to be slapped around and getting dirty and your wheel broken or chewed on or whatever other kind of oddity you've seen in the arcades. The longer it lasts, the more you can enjoy it and the more everybody can enjoy it. And the less times you have to call in the operator and then they have to call in a repairman who is going to take ages to get there because every arcade has a varied budget. The last one, you definitely want to be comfortable when you go anywhere out in the world. And that includes, you know, going to a venue like this where whether you're playing by yourself or with other people, you are going to encounter loads of people in arcades. If someone there is being too much to handle and they're causing a scene, you know, whether people are aware of it or not, in terms of the staff, and you're really uncomfortable, just go and let them know. You can remain anonymous. Let them know that something's a little bit wrong and you want them to kind of keep an eye on things. Again, they may not be security guards, but they do work there and they can ask people to leave. I guess I might just mention one more thing. It's related to just general playing of games. If you feel like you just want to get better at a certain game, don't be afraid to ask people. It can be daunting socially to ask a stranger, but it can sometimes work out for the best. If you ask for help, you can always learn something new. Even if you just say, hey, look, I'm new to this game and I want to learn a bit more, the person might be able to say, hey, I know a thing or two, I'm happy to show you. Because at the end of the day, more people equals a better community. And I think if you follow all these things, the community will be much better. Take it as you will. This is my take. Feel free to throw any other rules in the comments. I'll be happy to read them. I'm sure I've overlooked something. Thanks so much for watching and listening, and I will catch you in another video. See yous.